you want to agree with me that for an impulsive market, what holds the most, or for a trending market, is FVG. So this is why probably this FVG got tested and then probably may not return. Let's hope it does, because I'm looking to, originally I would want to get it up to the high here, which is this previous high we marked out on the daily. Right, this previous high here. We want to get to this previous high. Until this high is taken out, we can't say that it has turned bullish, because by nature is a bearish asset. So that's that for ADC. Okay, and I'm still waiting. The pending orders are there. I posted it on the trade analysis section also. And also now, yesterday we thought of buying and selling EU at the same time, and we're going to treat our conflicts right now. If you remember, I said from the monthly perspective, USD was reacting from, now firstly, is reacting from an impulsive area for buys. You can see the first area we had there. We had this put down, I think, in our first live session for the year, and I told you how that this has been tested, and this was the second test. And if you go to the, was it on the daily we got that? Was it on the daily? No, it was on the monthly. Yeah, on the monthly I showed you that we have, you can see this very strong pin bar here signaling for buys, and guess what, it was right at the fair value gap again, all right, for an impulsive move. So you can see it right there. This is the guy that signaled, that pushed the whole market. So since February last year, 2025, the market has been bullish. All right, you can see it obviously, the market has been bullish. Okay, so you can see, and we projected that the market is going to be bullish, right? But then we're looking at this trend line to be taken out first, and we're aiming at this high. And I said the buyers would most likely hold for a very long time. That's why you're seeing the massive sales on UJ. All right, so I said the buyers may hold for long, but then yesterday we attempted to sell, and I said, if you observe the trades I dropped yesterday, I said wait for confirmation, and our confirmation icon kilos, the confirmation kilos for someone like me that trade the 4-hour candles, and I wait for the 7 a.m. Is it 7 a.m.? Yeah, 7 a.m. 4-hour candle to close by our time zone currently. I was hoping that this particular candle, who is calling me? This particular candle would close bearish. That was what I was hoping, hoping that it does. But guess what? It never did, and it closed bullish. And what does that tell you? Once this closed bullish, the market continues. And guess what? My pending orders were already set, so I didn't even check the market. It was Captain that alerted me that, you know, when a trade triggers at 10:50 and closes at 10:50, it was a sniper SL I got yesterday, a very sharp sniper SL. All right, and I was just laughing about it, even though it was painful. But you can see it right here. It rejected right from here, and I told them, I said it was going to reject, okay, and possibly maybe sell to this point if at all it closed bearish, and it didn't. All right, so our buyers are still holding, and guess what? Even this morning the buyers are still holding. Why did I say the buyers are still holding? This is the 4-hourly time frame, mind you. And I said if you're waiting for those sweep of liquidity and all that, you may not really get a trade all through this period. So what do I do now? All through yesterday, let me go to the daily time frame. All through yesterday was bullish. All right, and then if you go to the 4-hourly time frame, now this is what I will note on the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, now this was 7 p.m. This was in 23 o'clock, and this was 3 a.m. Now already 3 a.m. gave you, now if you observe this candle, for those of you who understand candlesticks anatomy, how do they call it? If you understand the candlestick anatomy and all that, and the candlestick Bible, they will tell you that this appearing at the bottom. For me now, I would consider this the bottom of the chart. All right, I will consider this the bottom of the chart, and this appearing right here signals that the buyers would continue. And remember, our target has always been, even I caught the buy. You know, there was a buy I was projecting earlier on sometime last week, that we were waiting for confirmation, and it killed us. I think the buy was somewhere around, was it somewhere around here? Yeah, somewhere around there. I held this buy, I would have been holding till this point, this red line here. But guess what? We missed that buy, and it's one of the most painful experience I've had, trading this year, this particular year. It's one of the most painful I've had, right? But then we move, okay, regardless. So this is the 4 hourly time frame. So what do you want to expect? Now, it's just simple. It's just the candlesticks now you're trading, because there's no room for that liquidity and all that, except you go to probably the lower time frames. Right? You may get to see that. For instance, you can see this. Now, oh boy, already, like I said, the market is already signals buys. If I was early enough, this is 6 a.m., I would have taken this buy from here. Even though the market may come back to reject this area, but I would have taken this buy. Why did I say so? Now, this is an accumulation zone. Just a minute, please. I don't like that color. This right color. So this is an accumulation zone. The whole of this area, I consider an accumulation zone. And what do I consider accumulation zone? When candles have wicks, like when they wick off, and it depends on the area it's appearing, and it depends on the nature of the asset at the time. All right, at the time. So for me, currently, I'll consider this area as an accumulation zone. So the possibility of market reverse coming back to this area was very high, which it did. And if you observe on gold, so that was what happens on gold. And also, this is the next area market may visit, if at all it's going to fall down. This is the next area I will be looking at. Let me take these guys off. So I've already explained why we had the whole shitty stuff there. So at the way we closed low on the 4 hours, like I said earlier, if we closed below, we would have sold. All right, but then we didn't. So buyers have it. So let's go back to the 1 hour. I was explaining something, right? So I said the possibility of the market coming back was this area and this area. But if you go back to the 4 hourly, on this area, it doesn't signify anything. It only shows you, this area only shows you neckline. And if you observe the neckline, it's not so sharp for the market to return to. You can see it up, quick down. So the possibility here is quite slim, except this candle on the 4 hourly time frame, this candle, by the next 11 o'clock candle that's going to form, except it's going to turn bearish, this particular one is going to turn bearish, then you can sell to this area. Otherwise, your buyers will continue until you get to this area, then you can think of selling. Let me see to the left what's happening before we start taking decisions that are. So let's see to the left. Let me go to the daily. Let me just to make it quick enough. So if you look at the daily, we have already broken this trend line, right? So possibility is maybe to return to this trend line, which may not hold based off of impulse. So your next targets, in fact, your nearest target should be here, somewhere around there. So you look for probably an accumulation zone around here also to exit from. All right. So now the real deal will be to spot a trade. So this is the nearest accumulation zone. Even though this is going to break, this is going to break too. So let's take it here. So I'm going back to my 4 hourly time frame. And right here on my 4 hourly time frame, you would agree with me, it has already tested the first area which we projected. Like I said, 11 a.m. is the next candle. All right, 11 a.m. is the next candle. That's the next 4 hourly candle. What am I watching for? If this guy should close bearish, your buyers are invalidated for now until this level is retested. But if he closes bullish, your buyers continue. So sometimes you want to immediately. There was a time, based off of market attitude, that's the way the market was reacting. I was trading just 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. So at 7, once you wake up by 6:30 or 6, something, you just check the market. You know where the market is reacting from. At 7, you just enter, buy yourself, because you already know what will happen. So the same thing with 11 o'clock. So currently, once you see your 11 o'clock signal, that is if to say that this market should close, let's say it closes bearish like this. Let me use a color code. Sorry, let me use a color code, please. So let's say it closes bearish like this. All right. Already the sellers have come in, especially if it takes out this low. If it closes below this OB we just drew here, especially if it closes below. But then if it closes above like this, bullish, the buyers will continue. Then also if it closes bearish but fails to break, the body fails to break this previous bullish candle, this one here, then you want to observe what will happen next, because the buyers may continue, especially if the body closes just rightly above this bullish candle. Okay, so there are scenarios. Okay, you just to know your scenarios, where to step in and how to exit also. So we're done for that. So for now, we'll still wait. For me now, currently, what I would do is this: If I see any opportunity, let's say I go to the 30 minutes right now. On the 30 minutes time frame, I see it's already rejected this accumulation zone. I want to see maybe the nearest thing to do right now would be to give me a sec. Okay, I'll be expecting the market to maybe come back to this area. Maybe come back to this area. And of course, I'm not the type that would want to do tight SL or no tight SL. All right, so I can just take it from here, right? And then I'm going to put my stop loss rightly below here. Now, oh boy, there's another concern. What's the other concern? We have two candles here. These two candles here. These two candles here to the left. Why did I say they are concerned? It can be an entry criteria because they have not been mitigated. It can be an entry for you here to wait here, meaning just before 11 o'clock, the market may come to this area, reject, and go back up just before 11 a.m. All right, so it's either you want to wait here. Let me also use a feed to check. I have different entry models, by the way, so you don't have to blame me for that. So if you do the week 75% of the week, you'd also notice that there's an entry right here, right here. So whichever one suits you. Now, if you take from the first one, you're safe. You take the second, you're safe. You take the third, you're safe. Why did I say you're safe? My SL is large enough, and that's just like 31 pips. Am I correct? Yeah, that should be about 31 pips, right? You're safe. So let's say refine it down to this area just a bit, all right? And then our SL will just shrink. No, it just has to shrink just to the bottom of that, and then we are safe. Probably just maybe about 22 pips. All right, and we're good to go. So what's our target? Our target is this new. We can target the previous high, which will be cool, right? But then based off of the impulse that the market is moving with, we could take out this area by tomorrow. Okay, so we want to watch and see what happens. So you see the stepwise approach I took to getting this entry right now. And I said there are three entries here. This is the first, this is the second, and this is the third. If I take the first, we are safe. If I take the third, we are safe. If I take this last one, we are safe. But the possibility of coming back here may be slim. So I'll go back to the 1 hour to confirm. Now, on the 1 hour, why do I say I have to go back to the 1 hour? You can see this is the rejection. This is a weak rejection. Just like a, what do you call this? Is it a hammerhead or something? Something like a hammerhead, I think. Or pin bar, right? Pin bar, yeah. So you want to take the whole of this OB to enter from. But the possibility of coming back here may be very slim, like I said. So rather, I would choose the second entry, which is 75% of this week. All right, 75% of this week. Let me see again. Yep, that's exactly where we're going to be taking our trade from. 75%. And if we take it off of the 1 hour, you notice that 75% falls exactly on this OB that just got tested. Possibility to hold. All right. So it's not financial advice though, but then just my own view of the market. Okay. So we're just going to take it right there. Okay. Please risk responsibly if you're taking it at all. So back to the 4 hours. You want to look at every time frame you trade to be certain that you're not going to hit. All right. So we're going to watch what's going to happen. Possibility, you want to come back here. You want to come back here within this time frame because we still have some time before 11 a.m. Within this time frame, we want to come back here. All right. Come on, bro. So you want to come back here and then do this. I think my diagrams are quite slim. So let me expand it a bit. So you want to come back right here, right? And then push up. Okay, before continuing the buys. Take note, once this guy closes below, once this hourly candle closes below, this trade is invalidated. Except otherwise. Or probably set the market push. So this can happen. You can just dip in by 10:59, dip in and then week off. You're still safe for buys. Alright. So that is that for EURUSD. So next you're going to look at, I'm going to send the entries to the group. Alright. Let's look at NZDUSD. The same thing on NZDUSD. The same thing, just the same thing. There's no difference. Alright. Just the same thing. We're waiting for this guy to close bearish or bullish. And then we know what to do. Okay. But for this case, let's see what happens. Now, for this case, the same way, like I said, asset class has turned bullish, and I explained this in our previous live. I said all this is a very strong support level that got tested, and I showed us how that this pin bar here signal this bullish move, and this pin bar has been holding since November, right? I explained it in the previous, in fact, in the two lives we have had or three lives, I explained all of them, all of this, right? This is why the rejection is happening for me, and this bar is going to last for as long as probably getting to this area, taking out this area, maybe reacting from this area. Why did I say reacting from this area? You can see an engulfing wick right here. All right, so it would react here definitely, even if it breaks it, but it will react, get to this area or get to this area, possibly could even get to the top of the trend. So we are not looking at that long term for now. We're going to be looking at where to enter from at the immediate, okay, what we have right now at hand. Okay, so you want to look at this on the daily. Yesterday was bullish on a high note. You can see it. You can see the. Now let's look at yesterday. In fact, let's assume you wanted to get a trade yesterday. Okay, I'm not on premium actually, so I'm gonna you're gonna view all together. So this is yesterday's candle, right? So I'm gonna go to the 4 hours. So we drew us to a thorough breakdown. Now remember I said let's just do this now. This was yesterday at 23 o'clock. What do I remember to record that is 11 p.m. GMT plus one, right? And then what did I talk about? I said accumulation zone. This is it. This is an accumulation. All right. Now, if you look at that accumulation zone right there, and you see it got tested at 23 o'clock, and then got tested again at 7 o'clock in the morning, which was yesterday morning. And then guess what? The following candle, this is the following candle on the 4 hourly time frame, was 11 a.m. Now 7 a.m. closed bullish, so immediately you can enter your buys. I told you. I said at 11, once it's 11, you can just take an entry at the close of this candle. So if you are taking your trade at the close, just immediately at the close, you just take your trade, put your SL, and you're good to go. You're just good to go. But then if you want to refine so further, right? Refinement sometimes can be very dangerous. Let me go back to the 4 hourly time frame and mark out that candle. This is the candle of 7 a.m., right? Good. If that's the 7 a.m. candle, then if you go to the 1 hour time frame, you will notice that at the closure is 10 a.m., right? This is 9 a.m. Right? This is 9 a.m. 9 a.m. was what gave the last bearish move, right? Which sunk, guess what? It sunk into this other block here. This one below. I call it accumulation zone. Each time there is an order block with a pin bar order block, bro, it is a high probability entry point for me. All right, based off of my findings. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy out first. Take note. So you can see we marked out this guy, and then 9 a.m. dipped in and 10 a.m. concluded. Guess what? Immediately the closure of 10 a.m. Now this is what 11 a.m. did. It just dipped in a bit to respect this other block here, this bearish order. It's just market, just supply demand, fill in the gaps. That's what it did. So it just dipped in and the buyers continued. You see, so if you are taking your trade immediately the closure of 10 a.m., you're safe. So you just, for those of you that look for tight SL, except for those of you that do that. But then, so you see, the same thing we just did on you. I just want to use yesterday's scenario. I didn't trade it, all right? So I'm just showing you that most often than not, it happens. All right. So we're still looking at EU. Don't forget, our eyes are still on EU. Okay. Just a reminder. And I hope it has not tested and left maybe to USDJPY. All right. Let's go to NU for today. All right. So today, please confirm you can hear me. Someone should confirm, please. Doctor, Captain, confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Good.
I hear
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you very much. So now the same thing we're looking at for, bro. We're looking out for what? On bullish closure. Once it closes above, right? This kind of closes, the body close above this, we're good to go for a buy. But guess what? We have an issue. What's the issue now? On the 4 hourly, you have this bearish candle, you have this bullish candle. Now, no clear place to enter. Now, we want to look for entry, possible entries, right? So I'm going to streamline to the 1 hour and see what happens. Guess what? Already, this area got tested already, right? This area was formed yesterday at 17 o'clock. sorry, 19 o'clock, which is 7 p.m. The last 4 hour candle, right? The formation of the last 4 hour candle. And it got tested this morning at 2 a.m. Rejected. You can see the pin bar or armor, what do you call this guy? Now these are understand your Japanese candlesticks, they would help you a lot. Once you're reading, like it gives you extra insight, alright? So just the same thing. We have him rejecting right here, and then this is your 6 a.m. candle. More or less now there's an issue with the times, we know there's a correction, right? So 6 a.m. did this tap into this same what this guy here, right? And then you have this forming right now at 7 a.m. So 8 a.m. now, who is 8 a.m. coming for? Most likely 8 a.m. may come for this guy. Now, if he doesn't come for that guy, I'm going to do this. I'm going to use my feed and check for 75%. And 75% will be very low. And so since it's going to be very low, I can take the 75% of the whole candle instead. You get. I'm going to take the 75% of the whole candle instead. So my probable entry could be this area. And guess what? It will be too risky for me to take it here. The reason being, I may lose out on this trade. Meaning I may not get in. I may not be tapped in. I may not be tapped in if I take it here. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it right on the other block. We still have enough time, right? You still have enough time. We still have about um, okay, we have what 2 hours, right? What 2 hours still to go. So instead, I'll take my entry from here and then stop loss just below this. Now you could say that okay, this guy is tested. Why not put my stop loss below? Like I said, it's better you have your largest stay and still stay in the trade than the thing kiss you, kiss and die. So he kisses you and then he goes to the grave or goes wherever it is he's going to. So I'm gonna look for my exit. I'm trying to look for an exit, but it's obvious that everywhere is not a. There's no probable exit area, so I'm gonna look to the left. Let me see. This is an engulfing. This is an engulfing candle, engulfing wick rather. Now, if you don't know what an engulfing wick is, I explained it in yesterday's slide. This is an engulfing wick, all right. So I'm going to be exiting from there. Good. So let's go. Let's see how possible that is and what the risk to reward ratio is. Still is going to be very high. Did I draw that? Are you sure I did? Oh, I didn't. No, I did. Okay, and it's right there right now. I think the market is right there, that engulfing wick. Plus the rejection we are having. I think it's already right. It's sitting right there on the engulfing wick. So we'll just target the next one. All right, we're going to target the next. So it's already broken it. So you're just going to target the next level, which is this. We have tweezer tops there, very strong tweezer tops. So instead of going to the tweezer tops, we're just going to end here. Okay. So peradventure, you're not familiar with the language I'm speaking. I think you just do some candlestick Bible reading. To help you with that. So we're going to take this out. So our next target will be this. We don't want to be so greedy. We know the market is going to still buy to some level, but we just exist here, right? And we're good to go. So what's the idea? We're going to wait for a bullish close, but I'm going to take my trades right now, right? I'm going to enter pending orders. Okay, so it's just left for you to either or not. So we are good to go. 75% of both candles, these two candles here, is right here, still in the middle. So we are safe. Alright? We are safe, except something that happened yesterday will happen today. You know what happened yesterday? Now that sniper. Phew, sniper SL on UJ. Pam pam pam. Alright, let's go to the next one. So we're good with NU. It's very simple to hold. Trading is simple. You know when they say trading is hard, but sometimes it's easy. I don't know if you're listening to that podcast. I have a podcast session, by the way, on the Telegram group. So you could check the podcast there from inspiring traders, from lives, from X spaces. Right, some of them are recorded, so I put them there, and they have been helpful to me too. All right, so this guy, the same issue we had yesterday with this guy: close above, close below. So you can see we were already on track. We're waiting for this man to close above. And guess what? At 10:50 something, I think that's when, let me go down to the, let's be certain when it did this whole rubbish.
It did. Yeah. It was
at 10:45. 10:45, that's when this whole sniper moved. So I think it closed bullish, bro. We are buying UJ. But guess what? It just sniped. So immediately it did. Guess what? It closed bearish. What does that tell you? Bearish. When I mean bearish, relative to this guy, relative to the previous candle, it closed bearish. And guess what? Already it's a no-no. It's a no-no. Sellers coming. And remember, I said my pending orders were already set. So that was just the issue. But I hope you all waited for the confirmation though. And I said it's not financial advice. So the same thing this morning we're waiting for. First of all, we want to look at overview. Where is it reacting from currently? Where is the market at? And we projected this level to come. You know, UJ has been consolidating since. UJ is bullish, but bro, to be frank with you, you check on the monthly time frame, UJ has been consolidating since 23. When I mean 2023, right? So you can see it right here. It's been in fact, not 23. If you go back, but let's just take it from 23, right? It's been consolidating, but we know it's a bullish asset. What do I mean by it's a bullish asset? It buys often than it sells. All right, so you can see it right here. From 23 till dates, this is just what it does. Boom, 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 boom. So the next touch I'm expecting is probably
all right down here. So if you're,
and funny enough, it's so funny that this sale that is happening right now, we projected it. We were supposed to be in the sale. The same thing that happened in EU happened here. All right, we're just, you can see the marks are still there. I refuse to remove them because I say I want to be seeing this rubbish. The same entry model engulfing week, and then guess what? Boom. So it just reacted from there. You see, but then it's all good. It's all good. There's always opportunity in the market, but some opportunities when you miss them, you will cry. Okay, so we're expecting the first touch to be this area, the second touch to be this area. So it's still on the move. So the sellers have it. All right, the sellers have it. Let me see my EU. I'm still looking at my EU so I can enter. So I think you have to give me a minute so I can take this EU buys. But then let's look at UJ quickly. Yesterday sold. Today, what are we expecting? We are still expecting sold, right? So it's very simple. This is a bearish candle. This one should close what? Bearish. The next 4 candle, this guy should close bearish, which definitely would most likely happen, right? So how do we enter? 75%. And 75% is clearly right here. Boom, 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 boom. Just right here. So you're expecting the market to push a bit. Now, I'm going to show you 2 entries. Or more than 2, maybe. Let me see this first. So this is our first entry. Probability of happening is high compared to, yeah, this one is most likely going to touch. All right. And where is our exit? We could decide. It depends on you. It's not a financial advice, like I said earlier. All right. You could decide to exit just right here. Where is this place? This is the OB we marked below, right? So you could decide to exit there. Okay. And then secondly, you have an engulfing week. But the probability of getting to this area is slim. That's why I said I would rather want to maybe take this and set my asset right above. Do you understand me? It's very important. So don't go for slim asset, go for probability outcomes, right? Don't go just precision. Once you know your stuff, precision will step in. It's that simple. So let's go to the 1 hour. 1 hour. The same thing on the 1 hour. We have an engulfing week right here. And bro, it's a very clean engulfing week. You're seeing an engulfing week on the 4 hours and on the 1 hour at the same time. What does that signal? Oh, it may hold. So to cut the long story short, I have another block here also. You know, when you just expose your mind to the market, when you've read the chart, you don't need to struggle sometimes. All you need to do is, well, wait and wait. If you can wait. If you cannot wait, you get burned. Okay, so we rather take the second because our engulfing weeks is clean, even though, in fact, I'll take this one at the base of this other block. And I will tell you why. Why am I taking the base? Sometimes when you have an engulfing wick like this, it may not get tested. Now, probability is it will definitely get tested sometime, somehow. But what if it doesn't get tested? What gets tested is the base of this bearish candle that followed. Sometimes what gets tested. So that's why I would rather choose this, the base of this other OB I marked out. And another way to check is I want to check the high to the low of those two candles, and the 75% marks just right in between. So it's safer to say that highest is what will happen most is just this, tap into and dip into your SL a bit and then come down. I'm not looking for sniper. Sniper will look for me. Do you understand? It's just that you don't want to miss out, right? It's that simple. So we are done with UJ. It's that simple. Go back to a 4 hour and overview, because you want to see the overview of what you're doing. So that's why you have to go back to your 4 hours and see that what you did is cool enough and aligns with all the stuff you've had there. And remember, shift criteria is this. This current candle has to close bearish. So it's either it taps and bear, or maybe just like what happened yesterday, it will just close bearish at the 9 minutes. Do you understand? So it's up to the market to decide that. And sometimes you may not even have an opportunity to re-enter. Okay, so that's why I usually use my pending orders, and I try as much as I can to maximize them. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the next one. Please, if you have any asset you want us to look at, you could kindly tell us. Right?
Please,
so
check that BTC.
BTC, okay, sir, BTC. So we have our 3 trades already. So all 3 trades are probable trades, meaning you could say they are high probability trades. Okay, trust me on that. BTC is, bro, your buyers are still holding, and I think I deserve some money for that. Please, when you withdraw. All right, let's see this. Okay, so next reaction point I'm looking at. Next reaction point for BTC. We already explained BTC here. Thank God you were here yesterday. So next reaction point we'll be looking at is probably around this area. If it breaks this area successfully, we want to look at this area. We want to look at this area. If it breaks this one we just marked out successfully, we want to look at this area. All right. So that's what you want to be looking at. So still hold your buys, except otherwise, because currently what we're seeing is this is the 4 hourly time frame. So we want to see this guy close bullish. This current candle has to close bullish. It has to, because already on the 1 hourly time frame, it's already rejected for buys. So of course, why I said it has to close bullish, it has to clear out this. This is what happened in gold. I think it happened in gold yesterday or day before yesterday. Exactly something like this, right? And gold pushed up. So let's hope for a better outcome. So I think that's that on gold. We already explained the other things, other details of gold in our previous life. I think you were there when we did that. My EU shouldn't tap me and go, else it will surplus. I have to go and look at. Can you imagine that? Start the first one. I don't want to say what is in my mind though. All right, next one is, let's look at CAD-JPY. CAD-JPY is the same thing with UJ currently, but then CAD-JPY is quite funny because with all the old stuff yesterday, still refused to buy. It was just consolidating. So we're just going to leave CAD-JPY alone. What do you think? We'll leave CAD-JPY alone. It's not everything would take a trade on. GJ2 is the same thing. GJ is still trying to buy, because GJ is a bullish asset by nature, right? By nature is a bullish asset, and guess what? Is reacting from this OB we marked out. Sometimes
I have an entry on GJ.
We marked out this area, and that's exactly where it's reacting. Yeah, I saw your buy entry. You sent it the other day. I saw your buy entry. It was a clean buy, but was it a buy? Yeah, it was a buy now.
Yeah, it's a buy.
It was a buy. Yeah. But then this area is still rejecting from here. So until and unless this area, because GJ does this a lot. It does this a lot. I remember sometime last year, it accumulated around a certain, where was that? Was it this? I think it should be this. It accumulated in this area for a while. And after taking people out, sold, bought, before it broke. So we want to see this area, because this is not high probability area to buy from. What is this that just happened? Okay. Now, if you look at it very well, what's going on? All right. So if you look at it very well, this is not a very high probability area to want to sell from rather. All right. It's not a very high probability area. So it's a bit conflicting. So for me, I'd rather wait. So either let this place get broken above or get broken below. That's just the thing. But on the long run, our eyes are here. Our highs are here. That's on the long run. Why? Because I have an engulfing wick there. Our eyes are there. All right, on the long run. So that's it for GJ. So we don't want to waste time on that. We want to go to AJ. AJ is still the same thing. All right, but then the whole asset stuff is quite funny because you know AUD is a gold. I think it's related with gold, right? AJ, that's I say AJ rather. AUD, the Australian dollar, right, also has a relationship with gold. So you know the whole bullishness of gold is still also stepping in. So if you have any other assets you want us to check, I think you should kindly tell us right now. The mic is open. I stated it yesterday. I said if you're trying to buy USDJPY, you're on your own. USDJPY is the bearish asset. And unlike ADCHF that signal is buys, USDJPY has not signaled anything like buys. And if I miss this trade, I'm going to cry. All right, I'm going to cry. And funny, I'm going to post this thing on YouTube and I'm saying all this stuff, right? But then you can see it's just so painful, right? So if you're trying to buy USDCHF for now, you may get burned. You have to just wait for something to happen. You just have to wait because you can't buy USDCHF. It's a bearish asset by nature. That's number one first. But then, you know, as usual, you want to still the same thing here. You want to wait for this candle to close bearish, even though we know, or most likely, it may be bearish, right? The same thing there. So which other asset, please? Someone's going to say gold. Before they say gold, let me go to gold. Before they say gold, let me go to gold. If you remember, this is exactly what we have here. This was what I just showed you guys. That's happening right now. Right? You're seeing it right there. So after the bearish close, this is on the 4 hourly, don't forget. And guess what? This was 11 a.m. Now, this is 7 a.m. 7 a.m. close bullish. 7 a.m. close bullish. But then, what happens to 11? 11 did a retest. So you want to wait. That's why I said currently, I think it's the old stuff has moved. Who got tested this time around? Who got tested? It was the guy that got tested. Right? So the market just had to come back here. So if you're looking at currently what's happening on gold, currently, bro, gold is so steep that to even make projections on gold, it has to take to make projections on gold, it has to take connection. This is currently at 5288, right? If I'm correct. So what you want to look out for? It just steep. This is 3 a.m. This is 7 a.m. Of course, it's gonna close bullish, most likely. Probability is that it's gonna close bullish. So point of return, possible. I'm not saying that's yet to come to. I don't like looking at gold from 1 hour or 4 hours, right? Because point of return is most likely here. Let me go to 15 minutes. Good. This is the most likely area gold may return to. Yes, or possibly it may just weak off. Guess what? It may weak off from here, even though it already did with the previous candle. It may weak off from here. So these are the 2 points you want to buy gold from. If all these 2 points are invalidated, then just wait till it gets to this area. Funny how you're going to get 3 POIs. Okay, so most probably I want to wait for this one, right? I want to wait for this one, except this one is taking out. Sorry about that. Except this one is taking out, right? Except this one is taking out. I don't want to do anything gold. Except this one is taking out. I don't want to do anything of gold. And you want to look at for. I'm just going to delete all this stuff, right? Okay. Okay. Just a sec. Okay, I just want to do this and then this. So you want to say, um, the fee calculation of gold. When I wanted to take gold, I needed to take it by monetary calculation. I said, no, 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 I'm not gonna do this. So we want to look at the nearest price level, probably five thousand 300, right? Oh, what am I doing? That's my entry I'm gonna tweak. So you want to look at 5,300, right? It's already over 5,000, close to 5,300. Let's say 5,400. So you want to look at 5,400 right now, which uh, it may it may happen today or tomorrow. It's funny though. I'm not a gold, like I'm not really specifically on gold, but this is my projection. So you want to make it so slim, make it not go the bonds, right? So probably 5,350, even though we know how impulsive gold is becoming. So you want to take from there, most likely. But if this gets taken out, just wait for a correction. So let me go to the 4 hours and see all we just did right now on the 15 minutes. Like I said, I like going very low on time frame, like time frame basis. So good. So where are we still looking at? We're looking at the neckline. If you look at the higher time frame on the 4 hours, you're looking at the neckline. So probable trade, it may hold and it may not come back also. So it's up to you, right? So we go with gold. I like looking at SOL because I had some SOL assets, and hopefully it's gonna pump. So any other question, please? CAD CHF is there. EURUSD is there. EURUSD is also a beautiful pair, but then, bro, that pair is why don't I have it here? I can't. Okay, let me just. Okay, that's it. That's it. I think he's bearish also as well. Just like what happened yesterday, it still did not hold. It's still consolidating like CAD JPY. So I think I also want to avoid EURUSD as well. All right, I want to avoid EURUSD as well. So, any question, please? Any question? Doc Cletus, Seed, Captain, Fresh. Any question?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, sir, I know you're good. Please, if you want to take any trade, you can drop it on the analysis section, so others can also see it and enjoy part of it, right? Miracle, you're just coming, right? So we have a YouTube channel right now. Please kindly give us a subscribe, right? So I'm going to write out our handles, right? Firstly, we have our X handle. I'm so glad about that. And we're growing some way. We have our X handle, the prolific, with double C right there. That's one. And then we have a Telegram. It's a private Telegram though, but then, okay, so I will just have to not put it there. Then we have the YouTube. It's on our description. All this stuff are on our description. Now link 3. The YouTube is at the Pro Tribe. Yeah, this is the YouTube. All right. So kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a follow on X. Ta-da! Any question, please? So I'm going to end the live right now. Sorry, I'm going to end the recording, so that I'm asking any questions. So in the absence of any question, I can stop. So make sure you stay guided, give us a follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make your comments and ask your questions down below. Our links are on our description pages. Kindly follow the links to get access to all our platforms. So thanks for watching. Stay guided, stay informed. TPT.